Well, there won't be any problems if the feast starts at that time. Everything has already been prepared.
Mr. Zubair, I finished tallying things up here. Well, except for the guests.
Is a simple reply really that much to ask of our guests? It's affecting our arrangements!
Oh, it'll be fine. Besides, it never hurts to get things ready in advance.
I was thinking the same thing. The feast will be held sooner or later, right?
Hey, Nilu!
Traveler, Paimon!
We got your letters, so here we are!
You're the best! The other guests haven't even replied yet.
Huh? Are we the only ones that have arrived?
Yeah, I had someone deliver letters to all of our guests. But maybe everyone is still busy with other things.
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now, but even if your friends are important figures, they shouldn't just ignore your request like this. Nilu is Sumeru's #1 celebrity, after all. You have no idea how happy I am to talk to people with good taste!
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dances having good taste, then almost everybody has good taste. Because Paimon thinks everybody will love her performance.
That's right. We all think she's amazing too. Nilu is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. For Outlanders, you have a great eye. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most outstanding audience members next time. I think these two may win.
Nonsense! It is not for us to determine the value of an audience. But indeed, we could try giving gifts to people with particularly good taste. I heard there's a device in Fontaine called a camera that can record people's appearances as pictures. Such pictures would make superb gifts.
Ooh, good idea. I wonder where we can find one.
You guys are so funny. There's really no need for that. I'm satisfied just being able to perform here.
There's always a lot going on at the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, and that's why I love it here. Traveler and Paimon, could you help confirm if the letters were actually delivered? If for some reason they didn't receive the letters, then please tell everyone that there will be a feast here.
Yeah, we can also check out how everything in Sumeru is going now.
When I wrote the letters, I heard that Dia was in Port Ormos, and Alhaitham was at the Academia. As for Sino, we've only heard that he appears at the Academia from time to time. I'm not too sure about Ramon's whereabouts. My guess is that he's with Dia. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling better. I sent her a letter, but I was afraid of disturbing her. If you have time, please ask about her for me.
Okay, got it. Let's go, Traveler. seen Al-Haytham anywhere. Let's ask that person over there. Hey there, have you seen Al-Haytham around?
Yes, it seems Scribe Al-Haytham has gone to the House of Dana. You should be able to find him there. But you're already the second group of people I've seen looking for him today. He must be quite the busy man.
Oh? Who else was looking for him?
Mr. Cavey was just here asking about him. You wouldn't believe how terrible their relationship is. And now you two are here. Don't tell me everyone's here looking for gossip about the sages.
No way! We're strictly here on business.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I thought maybe everyone's as interested in rumors about the sages as I am.
Al-Haytham should be around here somewhere, right? Oh, he's over there! But it looks like he might not have time for us.
Just put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the academia.
This is not just some worthless book. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a physical book like this in Sumeru?
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another thing that you used your authority to get your hands on anyway. Just put it aside. Listen, I came back today only to hear that the sages have disappeared.
Oh, you sound surprised. I thought you would already know the inside story.
Would I be here asking you if I knew? You're the scribe, not me. So just tell me what you know already.
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Ksharawar. Besides, as a master builder and craftsman, chances are you'll be appointed as a sage too.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
What makes you say that? Why would you question my heartfelt sincerity?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Yeah, well, I share a similar sentiment, and anyone who knows you as well as I do would surely do the same.
You... See? This is why I hate discussing anything with you. Your ridiculous and arrogant attitude always gets in the way.
It seems that you really can't stand my personality.
Ha! What was your first clue?
Well, then you might as well move out of my house.
Are you threatening me? Stooping to a new low, I see. Ugh, and don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
Are they having a fight?
Forget what's going on with the academia. Haven't you been busy with your construction project? Tell me, when are you going to build yourself a mansion?
Don't get me started. I get angry just thinking about it.
So, what great building did our master architect work on this time?
Like I need to tell you. Keep your nose out of my business.
No, I think we deserve to know. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance of architectural and aesthetic matters, you probably wouldn't understand. Which is truly unfortunate. I can only pity the man who doesn't understand the first thing about beauty and romance. Unlike a true... hold on, wait a second. What do you mean by when Sumeru needed me most?
Well, while you were out fiddling around in the desert, many people came together to save Sumeru from a crisis.
Ha! and you think I'd believe that?
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices have all been overthrown.
Huh? What nonsense are you talking about?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me. It's not like my Darshan was the one trying to apply for funding from the Grand Sage. Yours, though, on the other hand...
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
Oh, it's you two. What's the matter?
We're running some errands for Nilu. Have you received her letter?
Letter?
Nilu said she sent out a letter inviting everyone to a celebration feast in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. We'll also be celebrating Zaino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra.
If she addressed the letter to Al Haytham of the Academia, then the letter should have gone to my office. I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail at my office. I only now have some free time to attend to personal matters.
Have you always been so busy with your work?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several sages have been dismissed recently and the whole academia was practically turned upside down.
Kainari told us they all went to train in the Avidia Forest. Apparently they will spend the rest of their lives there.
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2 rational sages. To imagine such things could take place in the academia. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, you're right. Feels kinda strange to hear them called that after all this time. But then again, the 6 great schools sounded pretty impressive too.
Yes, at least that's how they're supposed to sound. It's said that when the academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself established the 6 great schools, each representing one of the 6 different types of wisdom. Numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the 6 great schools have stood the test of time and obtained permanent seats in the academia. Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6 great schools, and the leaders selected for the schools are the 6 great sages. Among the 6 great sages, there is one central leader, the Grand Sage. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now. They were imprisoned for opposing Azar and were only rescued after Azar's downfall.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now? Do they need to find someone new?
Yes. Normally, new sages are selected based on a strict set of criteria.
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connection in Sumeru.
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali manage the academia. But I refused.
Huh? But why? Can't you be a little more ambitious?
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6 great sages. Like I said before, I don't like being a leader.
Oh, all right. So are you busy these days trying to find others to take the job?
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the academia before the new sages take office. And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's application for funding.
By the way, who was that other person just now? Is he your friend?
Do we look like friends?
Paimon doesn't know. That's why Paimon's asking.
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could say he's the representative for Ksharawar scholars, which is exactly why he always has so many problems.
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge change for the people of Sumeru.
Such is the work of the Academia Scribe.
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are, since you are our planner, remember to attend the celebration feast in 2 days.
Alright, I'll see you there.
This is Port Ormos. Now where could
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Dunyarzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been happier in my entire life. I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard about it.
Yeah!
That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady. Old habits die hard.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much. It wouldn't be a problem if you wish to continue to be our bodyguard.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now, my lady. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you'd recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard anymore?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most dangerous jobs ever! Are you getting bored already?
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I wouldn't have come up with this idea. I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. It made me realize that I'm still a mercenary through and through. Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that. I thought he was joking.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the Academia.
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the Academia?
What?
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and Alhaitham told me that now was a good time to find a job in the Academia, but only if I wanted to.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither. But I think Dia would look great dressed up as a scholar.
Ugh, forget about it. I wouldn't last 10 seconds in there. Alhaitham probably just liked the way I worked and knew I'm good in a fight. So he suggested I find some work in the Academia.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a mantra. Because you're super amazing!
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. I prefer to be free to live however I choose. In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary means facing all kinds of danger.
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything, being your bodyguard has been unfamiliar territory for me.
I don't want to see you go, but I'll respect your decision.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again. Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. That makes me happy too. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long, we'll be a dying breed. So I'd better get to work while I still can.
Huh? But wait a second! You make it sound like you're leaving now!
Well, no, not yet at least. I promised my lady I'd stick around until next week.
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time? We were wondering if you had received a letter from Nilu.
Oh, did Nilu write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying at. My lady has been very energetic lately, and keeps taking me on hikes, staying out even into the night. By the time we get back, the receptionist is usually off napping on the job.
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so the old man on duty is also usually dozing off.
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received the letter. Good thing Nilu asked us to come and check on that.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out here.
It must be something important for Nilu to specifically write to us like that.
Yes, she said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar, and will also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. She was hoping you could come.
Great! I'll be sure to attend.
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast? Can I just show up looking like this?
Since it's being organized by Nilu, I don't think she'll be too picky about that. If anything, I think she wants to see us as our most natural selves.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll see you there.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know where Sino and Raman are?
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace. Normally no one knows his whereabouts.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to do in Aru Village. You can try your luck there. As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss with Sino. You can ask Sino when you meet him. Don't mention it. You better get going.
All right, on to our next stop. It's been a while since we last visited Aru Village. Ah, there's Sino!
What brings you here?
We recovered well, and Tainari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tainari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness, right? Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the best place for you.
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place. You can go there if you'd like to see them. But you know one of the people I'm meeting as well.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Raman!
Oh, you know me?
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends. No need to be so guarded.
I see.
I'm doing well. Many good things have happened recently.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Alright, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely given up on my relationship to knowledge either.
I can see what you're saying now.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a teacher?
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring her ideas to the Eremites.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. I'll teach them, and after they've finished learning from me, they can go educate more people. That is the true meaning of education and the spreading of knowledge.
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Sataria is more than welcome to come teach here. Her arrival is like a star shining in the desert night. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of trouble and back to safety.
Oh, please, where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed.
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death, which is why we recognize extraordinary actions that common people would easily overlook.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul. Sataria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the academia's grasp on you will become. Sataria, why haven't you gone home? Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the academia. Lord Sino told me that Azar didn't belong there anymore.
Azar has received much needed punishment. Though, if you ask me, it may have been too light. You probably have already heard.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the Eremites. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Rahman.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss with Sino.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert, as instructed by Lesser Lord Kusanali. I believe the people will make good use of them.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical books and other related items. If it weren't for Sino and Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'm afraid we'd never be able to get our hands on them.
Apart from this, the academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Sataria know as soon as I have any more news. We must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure long-term effectiveness.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. I think this may be the turning point for the desert. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers. Then we'll once again see the wisdom and glory that once shook the world.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business too?
No, not at all. We're actually here on behalf of Nilu. Nilu wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where the letters should be sent, so she asked us to come find everyone personally. A celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. She hopes that all of you will be able to attend. At the feast, we'll also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. Although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated. Paimon thought you would only start working for the Academia after the feast.
Celebration? Feast? It's the first I've heard of it.
Tighnari was right. He really didn't know.
This feast is for you, Sino. Sounds to me like you'll have to be there.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino. You must not like feasts very much.
No, not really. But I'll go.
Well, I still have a lot to handle here. Besides, I need to look after Miss Sataria in the desert, so I'll have to pass.
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind, please give a message to Miss Nilu for me. The message is, I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of your dance. It's like a light shining in the sky. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and powerful, so much so that it was prohibited. Please keep dancing, and someday I'll be able to appreciate your art in person.
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well. Oh, Sino, remember, party's in 2 days. Make sure you're there.
Got it.
Today's the big day. Let's go to the Everybody's already here. Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
You're here.
Ah, there you are.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work. I'm very happy to see you here.
But we're not late, are we? It's just that everyone else arrived ahead of time.
I propose that the last one who arrived be put in charge of today's speeches.
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really? Well, even better.
Come join us over here. Let's share some great food and drinks, and chat about all sorts of fun things.
Everything looks quite good.
Wow! Paimon can't wait! Traveler, just look at all the delicious food here! Whoa! It's so delicious! Oh, this grilled meat tastes amazing!
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. And we have gifts that were sent by the residents of Sumeru City when they heard we were holding a feast. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru and wanted me to thank you all on their behalf.
Feels kinda nice to be seen as a hero. I could get used to this.
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job. You've always been amazing, Dia.
My lady sure has a way with words. Thanks. I'm glad to hear it.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated in the great plan.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive together. It's unbelievable.
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was against us and feeling like we hardly had a chance of succeeding?
That's how I remember it too.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even more luck for us to formulate a plan and implement it successfully. Moreover, judging from the results, everything worked out well.
Yeah, everyone gave it their all when it mattered most. It was almost like a performance. We took the stage and put on our best show. Everyone played their part, and thanks to everyone's efforts, the performance was a great success.
So, would you say we're good actors too?
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was able to return to power at the Academia.
Yes, even after being abandoned and neglected so many times, she's finally returned. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her losing all her wisdom and memories of the past. The Academia basically abandoned her because of it. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised. I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
No, everything you said is correct.
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
Even if those two giants of the Academia are here, I still have to say it. Those sages really have some nerve. 500 years ago, Lesser Lord Kusanali used all her power for the people of Sumeru, and what did they do in return? If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it turns into a knuckle sandwich, right, Sino?
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but their treatment of Lesser Lord Kusanali calls for a more severe punishment.
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his accomplices severely punished.
I respect our deity's decision, and won't interfere in any way. While we're on this topic, why didn't you accept the Academia's invitation to become the Grand Sage?
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a sage?
Not at all. But every person handling the selection process has said that you are the most suitable candidate to lead the Academia right now.
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way? This is a good thing, yet you're making it sound like I overthrew Azar for my own personal gain.
But seriously, though, I always wondered if you had some personal motives behind it.
I did have my own motive, but it had nothing to do with being a sage. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside, then it wouldn't be long until chaos ensued. I had no intention of letting their dreams disrupt my life.
By that, you mean your life working as the Academia's scribe.
Precisely.
Wait, is that all?
So, that's the only reason why you joined us and came up with all those plans?
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite the personality.
You flatter me.
All right then. How about you? You've already resumed work as the General Mahamatra, right?
That's right.
Will you be happy with that life?
It's not about being happy. There are merely a lot of things that I must do.
Even so, keep your spirits up and try to be happy, okay? And try to smile more every day, just like I'm doing now.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings, but the atmosphere here is quite good. No, this gathering today has a unique meaning. The Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here feel happiness from the bottom of their hearts, unlike the farces at the Academia. That happiness is an emotion that'll be forever alien to those bookworms who have driven themselves insane by studying. I seem to have taken both keys when I left the house. Oh well.
My lady, the grilled meat over there is delicious. Have you tried it?
Yes, I also tried some fruit just now. Oh, they're very sweet. What an amazing place to relax. No wonder everybody likes to rest at the Grand Bazaar.
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello! Oh, I'm so happy Nilu invited everybody. Oh, now I have the chance to meet all the heroes.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more eating and drinking. The feast is about having fun, not stuffy formalities.
The atmosphere here is good. And everything is delicious. Yeah. I don't often come to such places. But it feels quite good. I have a lot to handle these days. Otherwise, I could show you around. There's always next time. We're friends after all. This feast is pretty good. I like it.
Ah, there you are, traveler. Well, how is it? Are you enjoying the feast today? If there's anything you're unhappy with, just let me know. I'll be sure to take note of it. That's good. It's the first time I've ever invited so many exceptional people to one place. I was a little nervous myself. You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. It's unbelievable that we've got everyone together here. Almost like a fairy tale. Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be happy as long as you're enjoying yourselves. I'm honored to have her think of me this way. If I have a chance in the future, I would really like to invite her to one of my performances. I can't explain why, but I just feel elated right now. Thank you.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop. Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You once you've put something yummy in your tummy. Of course, just wait here for Paimon. It's me. You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. I was thinking about talking with you, and the next thing I knew, I had made a connection with you. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows upon. I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. I wanted to have a look for myself, so I snuck in. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any free time. Although you've already helped me with a lot, there's still one more thing I hope you can help me with. Please say thank you to everyone for me. Oh, is it not convenient for you to do that for me? But if I just show up all of a sudden, people will become all quiet and stiff, won't they? What if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast? That'd be the last thing I want. Let me think about it. Okay. Yes, I have. You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So, I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky. Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nahida?
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar. Interesting. Is this also a part of the feast?
No, of course not. Are you Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilu.
You know who I am?
Yes, I already know every one of you. Nilu, Alhaitham, Sino, Dia, Paimon, and Dunyarzad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the Academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Tevat would have suffered great misfortune. People refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. I'm quite fond of this name. It not only explains your identities, but also bears witness to your relationship with me. Please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything for you. You don't have to do this.
10 years odd. The suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me. Thank you.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be. We just did what was necessary and set things back on the right path.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to be so polite with us.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan. I hoped you liked the dance I dedicated to you.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you awake? Did you rest well? After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton. That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon, the Sage of Gluttony. Alright, since you're awake now, should we go and have a chat with Nahida? She should be in the Academia right about now. If you have any questions, now's your chance to ask.
Hello, Traveler and Paimon. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy, like a candle floating on water.
So are we, and that's why we're here to talk with you.
Is there anything you want to know? After recent events, the Akasha can no longer function as it used to. I've given it some thought, and have decided to shut it down permanently. But this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them. I don't think this is good for Sumeru. Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, they will soon understand that this life is more suitable for them. And as for the future of Sumeru, I'm preparing to regain control of the Academia. The former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I will oversee the process personally. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. Sumeru needs such leaders more than ever. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. All the residents of the desert, in fact. They have been mistreated for far too long. I've already taken some measures to address this. It will take some time to rebuild everything, but no matter if it's culture, friendship, or trust, we will rebuild it. You mean, what happened after the doctor put you to sleep? You guessed correctly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods. I was no match for him in that kind of situation. However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed to make a fair deal with the doctor. I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I used this point as leverage against the Doctor. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it was just a bluff, he still fell for it. I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take place. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the Doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refuse as the God of Wisdom. He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective, but he is still yet to understand them himself. His future will be determined by fate. Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the Nation of Justice? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system.
Does their Archon personally judge people?
No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials. However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. It seems that she just likes to immerse herself in that sort of atmosphere. As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict. Anyway, let's just say she's got, a very unique personality. Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet?
Huh? You mean...
About your sister. While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your sister.
Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Teyvat? So there shouldn't be anything on him or his sister.
This is true in your case. Irminsul indeed does not have any information on you. However, there must be something different about your sister. Because, as it turns out, the world has recorded information on her after all.
What?
There is only one possible explanation. She belongs to this world.
But nothing about this makes any sense! Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria. After the Conria disaster, she began her journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat. But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on her suddenly become fuzzy.
What do you mean, fuzzy? Did something happen to her?
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating her fate. And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of.
But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow comes from this world.
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the Descenders.
What's a Descender? Paimon's never heard of it.
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my Gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's Descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th Descender.
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other Descenders before the Traveler, and his sister isn't even one of them?
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other descenders, I still need to verify their existence. It could take me some time.
Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information.
And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. I must say, I truly regret that I can't help you more as the God of Wisdom. There are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them. And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru. I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nahida.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't thank you enough. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes, and maybe I'll appear in your dreams.
Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to all corners of Tevat, right?
Who's asking? Do you need something from us?
You bet I do. I was worried I wouldn't be able to find you. I have a letter for you see. It's from another Outlander. He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you. Took advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
Well, we are always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim. So, what address did that person give you anyway?
He just wrote, next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
What? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is. All yours.
Come on! Paimon wants to have a look too! Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well. From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us. Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go meet up with him? Yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern every afternoon. Perhaps we should drop in on him then, huh? Kaya should be at Jafar Tavern right now.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. That's just as well, I suppose. I do have other matters to attend to.
Kaya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank on us.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business, right? What do you think you're doing spending every afternoon drinking at the tavern? You itching for a lecture from Jean?
Not at all. The acting Grand Master positively terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything that might displease her? The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry here. So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes. Sumeru's spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail was invented. That's why the knights sent me, their foremost expert in alcoholic beverages, to come and see if it is as good as the rumors say.
And how did that go?
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master D-Luke are gonna make a tidy sum from this one too, huh?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Whether this lucrative opportunity gets passed along to Don Winery or not depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey! Using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain!
Oh? What makes you say that? Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though. I just came here on the sly once, when I was very young.
And? Do continue.
Do I have to? When I said we could talk about the old times, digging up my past wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Don Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting. I'm sure you'll agree that everyone's curious about their roots on some level. And my roots? They're in Conria, which is said to have been located deep underground, somewhere near Sumeru. And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo, and silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear. It was a short-lived adventure. Sorry I don't have a more thrilling story for you. Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young. My life had less and less to do with Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well. I used to believe that I had inherited some sort of duty from my father. But then I began to wonder. Maybe my father left me in the peaceful land of Mondstadt for no other reason than simply to keep me alive, as well as ensuring that I'd be safely cut off from certain things. The thought that I might be able to actually live a happy life there must have been the icing on the cake. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the only link to Conria that I have left.
One death afternoon, please, boss. Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in. I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm not mistaken.
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted, Kaya Alberich, descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
Huh?
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
Oh my. That's quite a lot of baggage for a surname, isn't it? Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Well, perhaps what you told me just happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Kaya, you're not involved with the Abyss Order in any way, are you?
Hey, hold on now. This conversation has taken a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing? Relax. I'll be just as delighted to hunt down the Abyss Order tomorrow as I have always been. Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've got a spice merchant to meet in a minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation without me.
Well, alright then. You go do your thing, Kaya.
See you around. And Dainsleif, no need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
You don't really trust him, do you, Dane? You're both from Conria, but you get on like oil and water.
The fact is, I still do not know him well. It would be meaningless for me to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen. Well, I suspect that they call your sister their princess, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
Oh, so if she was the founder, she'd be the queen, right?
I mean to investigate the Loom of Fate. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan! We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion. But while I was recovering my health recently, I suddenly remembered something. Your sister. She mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together. Apparently so. I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that she mentioned back then?
Correct. At that time, they must have been introduced in one way or another to this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in Avidya Forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Maybe we'll discover some secret that's lain hidden for hundreds of years!
No. Now is not the time. No, it's just... I'm still waiting for my drink.
Seriously?
Wait. This place, it's familiar.
What about it? It looks pretty normal to Paimon. Was it like this hundreds of years ago too?
Yes. The forest has barely changed from how I remember it. There is very little human activity here after all. Let's search the area and see what we can find.
Is this a field? It must belong to whoever owns that house over there. But it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. You could be forgiven for thinking nothing was ever grown here. Or, wait, maybe nothing ever was grown here. It's an extinguished bonfire. Forest rangers, perhaps? Looks like it's been ages since it was last lit. And clearly they put it out carefully to prevent a forest fire, too. That's responsible.
Nothing else stands out in this area. All that's left is that building. Come on.
Wait, we're just gonna go barging in? What if someone's home?
Unlikely. There are no signs of life in this area. We should be able to enter without incident.
If you say so. Well, you lead the way then, Dane. Huh. So there really isn't anyone home. Hey, look! It's a bull! Guess whoever used to live here liked to cook, huh?
Can't you smell it? There's a heavy scent of medicinal herbs in here.
Oh, so it's a medicine bull? Seems you're right. You've got a good nose on you, Dane. There's a box over here. Why don't we open it? And by we, Paimon means you. Paimon's just scared that whatever's inside might bite her fingertips off. Huh? This is a mirror. It's broken, too. Was this a makeup box? That's kinda disappointing. Paimon was hoping we'd uncover some super big secret, especially after Dane talked this place up. This bed looks pretty ordinary. Huh. There's nothing underneath it either. What sort of person would want to live here? It's so dark and damp. Can't be all that comfortable. Doesn't look like there's anything else worth our attention here. You sure we're in the right place, Dane?
My memories are quite foggy, but my subconscious and instincts both assert that something once happened here. But we'll exhaust ourselves if we search aimlessly. I hear noises outside. Let's go and check.
Noises? Is it?
It's not much. Just some minor adversaries.
Monsters? Well, good shape for a 500-year-old. Although, for someone who's as full of surprises as Dane, it's hardly a big deal. Anyway, let's beat up these monsters!
Settle down! Both.
I doubt that the appearance of those monsters was wholly random. There must be something nearby that attracted them. A ley line anomaly, perhaps. But it seems to be more than that. Okay. I'll go slightly further out to investigate any issues with the nearby ley lines. I might be a while. You should wait for me here.
What? You're going alone? You better not be trying to keep some secret from us.
Your suspicions are as banal as they are unwarranted. I merely think that this house should remain the focus of our investigation, and as such, someone ought to stay here and keep an eye on it. Not to mention that if even forest rangers are capable of investigating ley lines, I will be more than able to handle it alone.
Fair enough. Guess we'll just camp out here then. Good thing there's a bonfire over there. Let's make ourselves something to eat. All this running around has made Paimon real hungry.
And voila!
Your cooking is as good as ever. Even if there was no other reason, the food alone would be enough for Paimon to stick with you. Changing the subject, Dane's taking forever. He said that there might be an issue with the nearby ley lines. How bad do you think it could be? We came together, but now it's back to just being the two of us again. You know, now that Paimon mentions it, we really have spent lots and lots of time together, haven't we? So, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but, do you ever get tired of Paimon being around? Oh, you stop it! Now you're embarrassing Paimon. So, next question. Don't know if it's okay to ask this, but Paimon's curious. What was it like traveling with your sister? The stars? Wow. Yeah, Paimon understands. Being separated without even knowing the reason why, it's just terrible. But we'll find the truth together. Sure as Paimon's your guide. Just you wait, Heavenly Principles! And you too, Teyvat! You know what? We've talked too long about this sad stuff. Let's talk about something happy instead, 'cause if you're sad, Paimon will be too. Alright. It's getting dark, so why don't you rest? Paimon will take first watch. Don't worry, no monster's gonna come and eat you up. Oh, come on! Don't say that! Paimon just wants to look after you for once. Nighty-night. Go on, shoo! Off to sleep!
Hey, time to wake up. The sun has risen. What a deep sleeper. You do know that we need to... Tear stains. You dreamed of your sibling last night, didn't you? All right. Rest here a bit longer then. I'll head into the forest to investigate.
Halt! What do you... This place is not whatever you think it is. Nor should you be poking your nose into my business. Begone! Your travel companion. You mean the one that was keeping watch by your side last night? Your companion departed for the forest early this morning. That much I saw with my own eyes. What business is that of yours, hmm? All you need to know is that I claimed this place first, and what I do here is none of your concern. Do I make myself quite clear? Leave! Well, what are you waiting for? If you must, suit yourself. I've been observing you, and you don't look like a forest ranger, nor someone from the academia. Still, I'm warning you, no funny business. Promise me that, and you can do as you please. Okay, fine. Whatever. Just move aside. I'm heading. You. Oh, go on then. Have it your way. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hide this anyway. Just come in. But no overreacting to anything you see in here, okay? Come on then. Mind your own business. Don't worry. He isn't aggressive. How could he be? He was too young for anything like that. So don't you lay a finger on him. Just find yourself a corner to rest if you're tired or cold. Huh? You know Conria? Who are you? Exactly. And how do you know I'm from Conria? Do you worship a god, traveler? Sounds like you've had an eventful life. All right, well, my name is Ida, and you are correct. I was once Conrian. I apologize for my earlier hostility, but you must understand, as far as I'm concerned, humans who do not worship the Seven are nigh extinct. And all who place faith in the gods are my enemies. That may be. But the fact is that chances to talk to people like yourself have been few and far between since the cataclysm. This wretched curse of immortality. Who knows how long I must continue to suffer like this? The curse. It was a little gift given to the people of Conria by those vile gods. We lost our home, our loved ones, everything. The agony of the cataclysm itself was already too much to bear, but then came the curse, robbing us any chance of release. All we can do is watch helplessly as our souls erode and our bodies decay. Because, although Conria began with a single bloodline, it was a home to others too. Any who forsook their gods and came to Conria were welcomed as our fellow citizens. When the cataclysm came, we pure-blood Conrians were declared the greater sinners. Upon us the gods placed the curse of immortality. But those whose ancestry belonged to the domains of other gods were punished with the curse of the wilderness as they fled, turning them into monsters. He is Caribert, my illegitimate son. How times have changed. I can say that out loud with no consequence now, but it was once a matter of unspeakable shame. I was a noble of Conria, by blood, but I resented the life that my family had arranged for me. Then, one day, I met a beautiful woman amongst the people. Her roots were in Mondstadt, but that mattered not to me. It was love at first sight. Caribert faced great hardship from the very moment of his birth, all due to my selfish desires, and I was never able to be there by his side for any of it. After all that, he turned into a hilly troll right before my very eyes. I always owed him much, and now at least I can finally be close to him. She was. We were separated. I do not wish to dwell on it. It could be worse. I suffer the pain of loss because I once had everything I could wish for. And now that I have lost almost everything, the little that remains I see with new clarity. If nothing else, at least I still have Caribert. Yes, that reminds me. I only returned here to check on Caribert, but I do have other things I wish to do. You may come with me, if you're so inclined. Over here. I'm sure you're wondering why I brought Caribert here to Sumeru. Well, it's because he needs a medicine that can only be made here. One which will help him to recover his clarity of mind. I do not hope to break the curse. I am well aware of my powerlessness against the punishment of the gods. But it is said that this medicine is imbued with the power of Sumeru's god of wisdom and can awaken the mind from a state of deep stupor. It has been used in the past to treat cases of mania. I believe that it might just work. I read about it in a book. from the Royal Library of Conria. It was banned. I mean, since this medicine requires the power of the seven to work. In my youth, I disliked the life of nobility and craved excitement. I was leafing through some forbidden text and happened upon it. What other choice do I have? What exactly would you have me do, huh? The gods have already punished us. What does one more sin matter now? Never mind. As long as you understand. I'm sorry. I struggle to take control of my mood sometimes. Perhaps a consequence of having lived too long. As it happens, I am in dire need of some help to make this medicine. My hands don't have the dexterity they once did. I fear they may be decaying from within. All thanks to this curse of immortality. Okay. To start with, take this ingredient. Also, do you have any, of Sumeru's regional specialties on hand? I believe they're called Kalpalata lotuses and Sumeru roses. Oh, wonderful! Oh, in that case, we have everything we need. This is the method for making the medicine. You just need to follow the steps. Is it done? Oh, splendid! Let me see! In all honesty, I do not know what the end product is supposed to look like. The banned book didn't feature any illustrations. Well, the moment has finally arrived. Curses. No! We need to perform one final step to complete the medicine. I said before that this medicine relies on the power of the God of Wisdom for its restorative effects. Which means we must pay a visit to a statue of the Seven. Let's go. Bring the medicine with you. Look at this statue. How can I bow before this thing? God of Wisdom! Look at me! I will utter no prayer, nor will I sing your praises. You and your kind destroyed my home, wrought unfathomable suffering on my compatriots, yet here I stand before you. You cannot mock me more than fate itself already has. God of Wisdom, I seek not to disavow myself of the sinful blood that flows through my veins. I wish only to beseech you to have pity upon a young and unfortunate soul, my son, Caribert. He was turned into a monster before he had the chance to witness anything beautiful in this world. This is no fate for a child. If everything the gods have done was in order to have the impious people of Conria bow their heads, then I bow to you now. I have given up all I ever stood for. All I ask is for a tiny miracle. For Caribert to see this world once more. Please, God! I beg of you. I have made quite enough of a fool of myself for one day. Let's go. Caribert? Well, we've prepared the medicine. We might as well try it. Caribert, it's me. It's your father. Caribert. Caribert, please say something. I'm sorry I couldn't be at your side when you were born. And that I failed to reach you and Mama in time when you both were suffering. But I'm here now. Papa's been by your side all these years. I've never left you, not once. Are you still angry with me, Caribert? I know you're awake now. Do you not want to talk to me? I'm so sorry, Caribert. Forgive me. Please, say something, anything! Please! Please! Oh, gods above! What more do you want from me? You took everything from here, and I still bowed to you! I'd give you my very life if only you cared to take it! But you won't even let me die! I knew it. I should never have trusted anything that had to do with the gods. I was just deluding myself. The gods of this world have never stood with humanity, not even for a moment. Other reasons. What do you mean? Huh. You really think so? Give up? No, never! And yes, you're right. I cannot let myself wallow in despair. Even if I must stay here with him for 50 years, 100, what difference does it make? I do not lack for time. Let's go. We'll make another dose. The most crucial ingredient in this medicine is the unusual mushroom, which makes things complicated, but not impossible. I grow them in that field. The details don't matter, right? Curb your curiosity and just do as I instruct. If you truly wish to help me, that is how you can do it. There is a waterfall near the statue I prayed at. I need you to collect some water from there around 2 in the afternoon. I'll be here watching Curry Bear. Once you're back, I will make some fertilizer for the mushrooms. Good. Then please head over when the time comes. Ah, you're back. Cara Bear's condition is stable. By which I mean he still isn't responding. Anyway, give me the water. I need you to stand guard here for a while. Whatever you do, don't let any forest rangers approach the house. Understand? Ah, good. I'll be back soon. The fertilizer won't take but a moment to make.
Bow your head. Settle down.
What happened? Was it monsters? Oh, thank goodness you were here. I couldn't have taken them on all by myself. I'd have to hide and wait until they were gone. Oh, yes, I've got the fertilizer. The effects can take some time to kick in, so let's get on with it. Next, we pick the mushrooms and repeat the same steps as before to make another dose. I trust you still remember the method. Sorry. I just, after resting in this field for a while, my thoughts began to wander. I have been so very wary for many years. If only I could fall asleep here in this field and never wake up again. I do indeed. That's why it was just a fleeting thought. Thank you for your help once again. And now, for the final step. Back to the Statue of the Seven. We're here. Let's begin. Wait a moment. Hey, what was that? Cory Bear! Oh no, he must have left while we were too busy preparing the medicine to notice. Come on, we have to catch up with him. That's not Cory Bear. Right. Cory Bear's scarf was a gift I once gave to his mother. I use it now as a marker of sorts. My eyes must be going. How could I not recognize my own son? Yes. It doesn't seem interested in us in the least. It hint on walking in that direction. Where could it be going? Yes. The more we know about Hilly Churls, the better. Did it go in here? Well, let's head in. What a ghastly place. Has it always existed? I swear I've never noticed it before. Huh. It looks like they're, worshipping. Sometimes walking, sometimes kneeling in worship, and it appears to be in earnest. I've never seen anything like this in all my life. What in the world does this place conceal? Oh, there's only one way to find out.
Is this a teleportation device? What energy is powering it?
Step right up.
One with the forest. Yeah. Right.
A round of applause.
Yeah.
Silence! Settle down!
It seems like I need to find a place to insert the rune.
Silence!
Humans, fate has not granted you the right to enter this place. Do you insist on an audience? Very well. Then I grant you the trial of destiny.
The tides beckon. Bow your head.
Foolish mice is a minion!
Settle down.
Taste and see! Perish in the storm! Desolation! All shall succumb! Hear the final prophecy!
Here comes the finale!
Foolish mortals! Corn conquers all! Feel the
Entrap!
Freeze and devour! Desolation!
Stay calm, stay calm.
Who was that? He was a perfect being. I'm in awe. He had the most wondrous aura, a perilous yet beautiful power. Oh, truly mesmerizing. And yet, you were able to defeat him. Oh, your strength is greater than I had imagined. Let's continue on. I find myself growing more curious by the second and more excited. I think we've made it to the end.
Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For fear of the unknown? Or for a power that you covet? Oh, dear creature, why do you bow down? For I am no god, I am but a sinner. You are like a flower, born in sin, yet pure, spotless. I know your fate well. You need no longer hold back your resentment, nor accept the countless lies. Go forth, become a transcendent one. Rise beyond the fate bestowed upon you. And I shall shed a tear at the end of time, as I gaze back upon your life.
What just happened? When I saw that thing, my heart was instantly at peace. I was overcome by a sense of awe or joy, perhaps. I feel good. In fact, I feel better than I did before I came in here. How peculiar. Oh, is that so? All right, as you wish. Caribert! Oh, thank goodness! He's still okay! I have a strange feeling that what just happened was meant to be. For this to happen, right at the moment when I was dreading worshipping at a statue of the Seven, it's as if fate was calling to me. You say that I bowed before that thing, so perhaps it might be just as effective. Well, I have to try. No matter what, you said it yourself. I have to exhaust all options. Caribert?
Papa?
Caribert! Oh, my goodness, it worked! It's a miracle! Oh, Caribert, my dear son! You see? It worked! Caribert can speak again!
Where's Mama?
Mama is... Caribert, look at me. Do you know who I am?
Of course. Your Papa.
Yes! Salvation! Sweet salvation! Yes! This is what this feeling is. How do you feel, Caribert? Are you fully awake now?
Yes. It feels like I just woke up from a long, long sleep. I dreamed that I was hiding in a little room. I didn't dare go out the whole time, and I didn't want to either. Wait. My body! What happened to me? Is this me? Papa? What's happened to me?
Don't panic, son. It's just... While you were sleeping, we went into a fairy tale world. There's no more Conria here. No more home. But, do you know what that means? No more red sky. No more end of the world. In this world, you have to be a little monster, but you get to stay with Papa forever.
Am I dead?
No, of course not. Look, Caribert, you still have Mama's scarf on your arm. That means she's watching over you, protecting you. So how could you be dead?
Really?
Yes, really. You've only just woken up, and this must all be very confusing for you. Just rest here for now. Things will get better. Oh, and, you have to promise me something. Never take off your mask. Understand? Whatever happens, you mustn't take it off.
Okay, Papa. I won't. I promise.
Not since that day have I been so glad as I am now. I can't believe this is really happening. I knew that placing my hope in the Seven was a waste of time. I even worshipped at one of their statues like a common fool. Never before have I humiliated myself like that. Once a murderer, always a murderer. I was naive to think that the gods who conspired against us would ever offer redemption. But the god we saw in that cave, now that was a truly mighty god. Nothing like one of the Seven. That wondrous power, it was truly enchanting. Surely that must have been the reason I bowed down. Now then, after one beseeches a god, and the god responds by answering their prayers, should they, do something to show their devotion? Piety is hardly my area of expertise. But surely I should honor the god that has honored my wishes. A sinner? Oh, don't be absurd. You don't know a single thing about him. How dare you utter such blasphemy? You and I have both witnessed his divine power. When has the Seven worked a miracle like this before? Never! He is a god, mightier than they, and yet you would call him a sinner. Oh, preposterous! No matter. Believe what you will. You cannot shake my faith. I am going to pay my respects with or without you.
Bow your head.
Keep up. And voila!
No! Impossible! What happened? The Hilly-Churl worshippers have disappeared too? Was it all an illusion? That's true. Yes, it can't have been an illusion. I still feel that awesome and wondrous power flowing through my mind and body. It was neither illusion nor coincidence, and certainly no dream. It was a wonder. Yes, a divine wonder. Let's go, traveler. There is surely a reason for its disappearance, and I do believe that someday in the future, we shall see it again. Could he really have been a sinner and not a god? Kari Bear? Where has he gone? Oh, no, no, no. Maybe someone else came by and found him? No, it can't have been that. There's no sign of a break-in and no sign of anyone having been. This does not bode well. What if he's spotted by a forest ranger or an adventurer in his current state? They'd... Wait a minute. This isn't how we left it. Oh no. Did he... The mirror! It's broken! He must have taken his mask off and seen what he looks like beneath it. If he'd just done as he was told! We have to find him. It's his scarf. He dropped it. Looks like we're going the right way. Come on. Kari Bear! Kari Bear! Where are you? Curses! Forest rangers.
Hey! Who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Have you seen a hilly churl? A hilly churl should have come past this way. Have you seen it?
I asked you first. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
I said, have you seen a hilly churl?
Hey, whoa. Look, sir, there's no need to get so worked up. There are hilly churls everywhere. What's the big deal? We see plenty of them out here.
Exactly. Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them back there. Those dumb boneheads.
You... Forest Ranger scum! You spawn of the Seven are all the same! I'll have your heads if you so much as laid a finger on Kari Bear!
You're raving mad! You've got some gall coming here to our nation insulting the forest rangers!
Curse you all, forest rangers!
I don't get it. Why make such a huge fuss over a few hilly churls? Makes no sense.
He'd only just regained his mind. How could you do this to him? So tell me, forest rangers, did you really spare none of them? Did you really take out every last hilly churl you saw?
Jeez, you're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. If you must know, I happened to cross paths with a solitary hilly churl when I left the team to, use the toilet. I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just bumbling along in that direction, so I left it alone.
Yes! Wonderful! Wonderful! Let's go! We have to find him!
Wait, you're leaving? Not even a thanks for the info, goodbye?
Cory Bear! Cory Bear, stop! It's me! It's Papa! Whatever you saw, it was all a trick. An illusion. I told you, we're in a fairy tale world now. Nothing here is real. Please, Cory Bear, come back. It's time to go back. Cory Bear? How could this happen? He regained his mind. He must be able to hear me. Surely. Come, Cory Bear. We have to go home now. Papa's here to take you home, all right?
Papa?
Cory Bear.
Papa, I can't take it.
Please, Cory Bear. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all too much. Papa!
I see. I understand now. Finally, it all makes sense. Ah, Traveler, you're awake. Finally, we can rejoice together. Wait, no. Why am I still calling you Traveler? Oh, I have known your true identity for some time now. I suspected it was you. Oh, from the beginning. I had to talk to you to be sure. Oh, of course you haven't. With your status, you can hardly be expected to know all of us. In any case, I've been using a fake name this entire time. Ida is the name of a servant I once had. My real name is Clotar. Clotar Alberich. You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable, the power inside Cory Bear and the power of the one you call a sinner. It was one and the same. Yeah, I am positive now. It's the power of the abyss, isn't it? Oh, at long last, I have seen it with my own eyes. That is no business of yours. A sinner. Yes. Salvation for a sinner can only come from a sinner. Cory Bear did not deserve his fate, but now it's wonderful. He will be able to weave his own destiny anew. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom of fate. Huh? Sinister. Dangerous. Oh, I never imagined that you, of all people, would deny the abyss. How ridiculous! We once believed that you would bring new strength and hope to Conria. To us, you were the abyss. A wondrous mystery far beyond our imagination and comprehension. And the one who controls the abyss can control everything. We yearned for that future. We looked to you to take us there. But what did you bring us instead? Oh, Princess of Conria.
Why did he just call me?
Traveler!
You're awake! Oh, thank goodness you're awake! Paimon was worried sick! Traveler? Traveler?
What happened while you were unconscious? I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears that the Abyss tampered with them, and they've been in turmoil ever since. Information and memories flow within the ley lines. What did you witness? You mean Clotar Alberich? After founding the Abyss Order, his faith in the Abyss led him to do a great many things. But the curse of immortality continued to torment his body and mind. And in the end, neither his faith nor the Abyss he worshipped could save him. After 100 years, he lost his mind completely and was never seen again. Yet his dark legacy lived on. The defiled statue that we encountered previously was just one perverse product of his use of abyssal power during his life. You could say that. She wouldn't be the Abyss Order's princess otherwise.
Are you alright? You have a troubled look on your face. What happened?
So you saw her memories from centuries ago, through your own eyes. It all but defies belief. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion of the Loom of Fate did indeed rear its head during that time. And it seems closely connected to Clotar Alberich's son, Caribert, and what happened to him. And yet your sister never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder, was that the moment that she decided to go down this path? Indeed. Clearly, this series of events sparked a long period of deep contemplation. This was where it all began. What is it?
The field? What does that have to do with anything?
You mean here? Well, let's start digging and see.
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! Did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton, buried together. Interestingly, the male skeleton appears to have been interred much later, and it's holding a silk scarf in its hand. But what does this mean? And how did you know that there were bodies buried here? What? That's impossible. Unless Clotar Alberich finally found a way to rid himself of the curse. This all raises far too many questions. I need time to think, and to search my memories for some missing pieces. We should part ways here.
Huh? You're just gonna leave? Why? You could come with us, you know.
It's better that we split up for now. I think that he might have seen you.
Who's he?
Yes. I have my suspicions as to his identity, but I need to confirm some other details before I can be sure. If the time is right, I will tell you when we next meet.
But what do you mean that he saw the Traveler? How is that possible?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else, they are no obstacle to him.
What? Why? What is he?
All right, let's leave it there. Get some rest. Goodbye.
There goes Dane. And just like that, it's back to being the two of us again, huh? What is it? Huh?